What's up, Giants fans, Hub watchers, YouTube subscribers, Twitter and Instagram followers? It is I, Kush, back at it again with another update vid. Gonna be a relatively quick one because I'm actually gonna be hopping on PTA's live stream. So like as soon as you guys finish this, go over to PTA's channel, hop on live stream. It's gonna be me, him, OGR so far. I mean, KB said he might pull up as well. We'll see how it goes. I'll be there for a short while, obviously discussing this, and I had to get my reaction video out to it. The Giants' initial 53-man roster. The reason I say initial is because by the time tomorrow rolls around, it could change. Well, we know it is going to change for sure because of two players that made it, that being David Mayo and Xavier McKinney. They're going to be shifted over to injury reserve, so we know that's going to change. That frees up 2 spots, maybe, hopefully, for the one guy that didn't make the team, and I'm so confused as to why they cut him, Ryan Connelly. Hopefully that guy clears waivers, because Connelly, Jesus, I don't know. This is a sign that maybe he was just doing terribly in camp for somebody like Devontae Downs that kind of came out of nowhere to make it over him. Hopefully Ryan Connelly clears waivers and we can add him back onto the squad, and maybe we could pick up somebody like a Hakeem Butler. Hopefully they also clear waivers, but that's just wishful thinking at this point. Let me go through it and let me just give my thoughts. I don't necessarily have any gripes with it. I'm just shocked that Ryan Connelly didn't make it. That's my main thing. I mean, this is a guy that was our best, you know, arguably our best inside linebacker last year before he went down with an injury. He was just a rookie, for crying out loud, you know what I'm saying? In fact, it's funny that I mentioned Hakeem Butler because it's pretty much the same situation. Well, very similar, I should say. Hakeem Butler was injured in his rookie year. He didn't get to play. Ryan Connelly, of course, played 3 or 4 games. But then Hakeem Butler coming back this year, he was doing well in camp. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, the Cardinals cut him, and now he's basically on the waiver wire. Same thing for Ryan Connelly, except, you know, he actually proved himself a little bit in a small sample size. Comes back his second year. I will say we haven't heard much about him. We haven't heard really anything good or bad, and then he's just cut. Very surprised. I want this dude back on the team. Listen, we saw what he can do. I want him back on the team, man, because I gotta believe that he's better than Devontae Downs, TJ Brunson, and Tay Crowder, man. But let's go through it. Let's go through it position by position, right? So first up, we got quarterbacks. They only went with 2 quarterbacks, Daniel Jones and Colt McCoy. I'm gonna hope that they put Cooper Rush on the practice squad. You know, just, you know, as a precaution. I would have been comfortable rolling in with 3 quarterbacks because I expect injuries to happen this year. Not necessarily saying that it's going to happen to DJ or Colt, but you can never be too careful. I hope we put Cooper Rush on the practice squad if he clears waivers. Running backs went with 4, Saquon, Dion, Wayne, Eli Penny. Kind of basically the rundown as to how we, you know, most of us expected it to go. No surprises there. I'm very happy with that. Wide receiver, it's very intriguing. We only went with 5 wide receivers. We should have gone with 6. I firmly believe we should have gone with 6 because depth is needed. Sterling Shepard, Golden Tate, Darius Lane, Corey Coleman, CJ Board. The first 4, no surprise. CJ Board was added relatively late in training camp. You know, he made a really good impression, and so here he is. He made the team. Notice none of the undrafted free agent wide receivers made the team at all. In fact, as we're going to go through this, there are 0 undrafted free agents from this year's class that made the roster. So keep that in mind. The Giants kept 0 undrafted free agents from this year's roster. And we should have gone with 6 because we need the depth. Because once again, I expect injuries to happen. You can't avoid it. Who knows what would happen with Sterling Shepard. Who knows what could happen with Corey Coleman. And then bam, you're down to 3 receivers. So unless they're, you know, the second version of the 53-man roster, which is going to come out tomorrow, unless they add a wide receiver there or something, we need somebody here. And also, who's the gunners for special teams? Usually it's those last 2 guys that are on your wide receiver core. It's usually number 5 and 6 on the wide receiver core, you know, or maybe number 6 and somebody from the defensive back group. That's your gunners in special teams. Somebody that I thought would have made a great gunner was what's this guy's name that we added just a couple days ago from the Steelers? I think his name was Holton. In fact, Johnny Holton, one of the main reasons I thought we even picked him up was because he was a good gunner. So we'll see what happens there. Tight end, we only went with 3. Evan Ingram, Caden Smith, Levine Toyola. Once again, the 3 that made it. Not much of a surprise. But within the wide receiver and tight end group, I'm very surprised that we didn't go with 5 and 4 respectively. we'll see how it plays out. I would wish for us to go with 5 and 4 respectively. Offensive line, I got absolutely no gripes here. Will Hernandez, Kevin Zeitler, Spencer Pulley, Andrew Thomas, Cam Fleming, Nick Gates, Shane Lemieux, Chad Slade, Matt Pert. It did kind of catch my eye a little bit that Spencer Pulley made it over John Halapio. But I mean, Halapio was added very, very late in the training camp process, so it's not like the dude was going to have much time to catch up anyway. No complaints there. On the defensive side of the ball, they went with 27, as you can see. Defensive line, they got 6 guys: Dalvin Thompson, Dexter Lawrence, Leonard Williams, BJ Hill, RJ McIntosh, Austin Johnson. This is basically exactly how I thought it was going to go. Thank God my boy BJ Hill and RJ made the team. I love those dudes. I think they're very underrated and that they could do well for this team. And Austin Johnson comes on. You know, when we signed the guy Dalen Mack, former Ravens and whatnot, I was like, I don't really see him beating out guys like RJ or Austin. And, well, here we are. So I got no complaints there. Outside linebackers. And as a note, we went with 11 linebackers when you do the math, outside plus inside, and 10 defensive backs. So that's where most of the defense is going to come from, I'm going to assume. So outside linebacker, Lorenzo Carter, Marcus Golden, O'Shane Zimenez, Kyler Fackrell, Cam Brown, Carter Coughlin. Those are surprises. And I wouldn't be surprised if one or both of Cam Brown and Carter Coughlin are not on the second version of the 53-man roster. Not to say that they're bad players or anything, but I'm very surprised that 3 of our 4 7th-round picks made the team, because that's I mean, they're 7th-round picks, right? They must have played their butts off. They must have showed a lot of good work to the coaches and whatnot to make this team. But I don't know. I thought that maybe, you know, obviously Cam Brown was a 6th-round pick, but he transferred from inside to outside because he was a 4-3 outside, which is basically a 3-4 inside. He transferred from that to a pass rusher. He seemed to do really well, but I'm just saying, I'm throwing it out there. Don't be surprised if Carter Coughlin or Cam Brown is not on the second version of this. On the inside linebackers, I already gave my thoughts on Ryan Connelly. I really hope this dude comes back. I mean, we're the 4th place in the waiver wire. Of course, the guys that are ahead of us would be the Bengals, who can definitely pick up Ryan Connelly. They definitely would want another inside linebacker. Who got the 2nd overall pick? My mind is slipping right now. Can't really think. But there's 2 other teams. Let me pull it up, man. What's the 2020 NFL draft? Because it's in the draft order as of right now, I think. Let's see. As the NFL is loading this. Washington, they had the 2nd one. That's another team that could pick up Ryan Connelly. They would love to pick him up from us. Number 3 was Detroit. Yeah, literally every team ahead of us could use another inside linebacker, whether it's a starter or depth. So it's going to be very, very difficult for him to clear waivers, even though we're right there at number 4. So they got Blake Martinez, David Mayo, Devontae Downs, TJ Brunson, Tay Crowder. Once again, surprise, both TJ and Tay Crowder made the team. Don't be surprised if either of them are gone. Devontae Downs, he must have really showed out. And of course, David Mayo is going to be placed on IR. Defensive back, not really any complaints. James Bradbury, Logan Ryan, Corey Ballantyne, Jabril Peppers, Julian Love, Darnay Holmes, Xavier McKinney, Isaac Yadam, Sean Chandler, Nate Ebner. Not really much surprise here. Xavier McKinney is going to be placed on IR until he can return later on in the season. I'm not sure if we're going to replace his spot with another defensive back or we're going to stick with 9 defensive backs. There's not anybody that comes to mind right now thinking about defensive back that I thought should have made the team or anything like that. We definitely had a lot of them in camp. And of course, Isaac Yadam made the team as I kind of predicted when we traded for the dude. I was like, you're not going to trade for somebody at this point in the game and not expect them to make an impact. And of course, special teams, kicker Graham Gano, punter Riley Dixon, and long snapper Casey Crater. So those are my thoughts, my initial thoughts on the initial, want to stress the word initial, 53-man roster, because it can change by the time we roll around tomorrow, by the time the Giants go through the waiver wire and the NFL in general goes through the waiver wire. Let me know what you all think. Tune in to the PTA live stream, and I'm out. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. I'll catch y'all in the next one.